Check. Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to ACE Online and welcome to daily current affairs session. Briefly we will see what are all the articles that we are going to cover today, right. So these are the articles that we are going to cover today. First one, carbon farming. So it is part of environment as well as agriculture. You can take any of these things, right. Next one, MRI scan. So this is part of science and technology. So this is also important questions maybe come from this, right. So this is science and technology. Then India-Nepal territorial disputes. So this is part of India's neighborhood, that is international relations, a very important article as well. Then Mullaperiyar Dam. This is part of geography. Next one, coral bleaching in Lakshadweep. So we have seen the coral bleaching in the Lakshadweep. So this is part of environment again. Next, Starliner project. So this is part of science and technology. Then orangutans. So these are animal species. We will see this about this them as well. This is part of environment again. So we have a number of science and technology environment articles, and then factual pointers, finally practice questions. So we have a very good important articles for today. I hope my voice is clear. My voice as well as audio is fine, right. And please do let me know if there is any issue, so we will resolve it. Very good evening, Santosh, Sahana and Yasmin, right. So we will take the first article for today, that is carbon farming, right. So before knowing what actually is a carbon farming and all, I want to tell you the brief background. The farming, the agriculture that we are practicing, we in the sense the whole world that we are practicing is not a sustainable one. It means that the farming activities like type of farming activities like tilling and all, those are not environmental friendly, right. Usually agriculture, if it is a sustainable environmental friendly, then it can capture lot of carbon in the soil, right. Carbon is not good for atmosphere. If our atmosphere has more CO2, that is carbon, it means it is leading to the greenhouse gas effect. The heat intensity in the atmosphere is increasing. So our world will increase in a temperature, the heat will increase. So that is why the agriculture practices should actually capture the carbon. It should not allow into the atmosphere. It actually should store in the soil, it should store in the plants. But now because of the commercialization of agriculture, this carbon is being emitted into the atmosphere in form of CO2, right. So this is the issue that we are discussing today. Now there was an article in the Hindu about some techniques which can promote the carbon farming. We will see what actually carbon farming also, don't worry, we already discussed in brief. So there was a techniques which were mentioned in the Hindu, so they may ask you any type of questions from it. Even the carbon farming itself may come into the question as well, right. So before going into the carbon farming, let us know about the carbon as well. The carbon as well, right. So the carbon is the 15th most abundant element on earth crust. We have number of elements, right. We have nitrogen, we have oxygen, number of other elements are there, but carbon is 15th most in earth crust. Earth crust means this is earth, we have discussed the earth interior also in one of the sessions. We have core inside, so earth is inside, like you are standing on the surface. If you go interior of the earth, earth is divided into number of layers, right. So topmost 100 kilometers is called as the crust, and then mantle, and then core. So these are the three parts, no need to worry, we are not discussing geography, but the top 100 kilometers depth from standing where you are standing, it is called as earth crust, and out of that carbon is one of the significant component, right. So this atomic number is 6, you all know, right. So hydrogen is 1 and then carbon is 6, and it is found in all the living organisms, even in your body, in my body, everywhere it is located, right. This carbon is such a huge importance that it is located everywhere, and this is the fundamental to life on earth. For any life to sustain, carbon is the most important, but we are misusing and we are releasing excess into the atmosphere, that is why there is a issues, right. So, this carbon helps in photosynthesis, respiration, carbon cycle. So, all these are the role of carbon. So, carbon is very important, but we are misusing and we will see how it is affecting in the atmosphere, right, that is greenhouse gas effect. Now, what actually is a carbon forming? Carbon we have seen, so this is the element which is required for life, but if it is excess it may lead to greenhouse gas effect. Now, what is farming? Farming is nothing but cultivation of plants, crops or rearing of livestock, animals. So, all this comes under the farming. Now, carbon farming means clubbing two things, including the importance of carbon as well as practicing those activities which are sustainable in nature. For example, if you are using lot of pesticides or fertilizers, this soil fertility will reduce and the carbon capturing capacity will reduce, because excess of fertilizers, already soil is full of this fertilizer. So, how can it capture carbon, right. So, this is an unsustainable practice. Now, what we will do in carbon farming, we will practice the agriculture in such a way that we are actually storing the carbon, right. So, carbon farming is a type of farming which includes normal agriculture along with taking steps where carbon will be stored in these agriculture activities rather than released into the atmosphere, right. So, this combination is called as carbon farming. Is this clear? Any doubt? Carbon farming, it is a combination of farming practices along with the ways to store the carbon into the soil. So, that is called as the carbon farming, and this method aims to reduce the release of carbon into the atmosphere. Obviously, if you are storing in plants, it will not release into the atmosphere, right. So, to reduce the release of carbon into the atmosphere, store in the plants, right, and then reduce the greenhouse gas emission into the atmosphere. So, this is the carbon farming method. Is this clear? Very good evening, Sai Raj. Is this clear about this activity, the carbon farming that we have discussed, right. Now, after knowing this approach, the methodology, the definition, combining agriculture farming with the storage methods of carbon. Now, what are all activities are included in this carbon farming? What activities do we need to take care? So, there were some activities also which they may ask you in the exam, that which of the following may promote the carbon farming. First one, rotational grazing. So, you all know that animal needs grass, right, they keep eating grass, but if we keep on depending on single land for over the years, after 3-4 years the fertility of those land will remove. Now, the soil will lose the fertility as well as capacity to store carbon. So, that is why we need to do rotational grazing. So, if we are using that land, we need to leave that land for a certain time, that is 1 or 2 years, we have to choose other lands and then come back to this once it gains the capacity to store carbon. So, rotational grazing. Agroforestry. Agroforestry means agriculture with forestry. You can see here the image. This is all agriculture activity, some crop, and the forest trees were also grown parallelly. So, here these trees can hold the soil together and it can promote the sustainability of the soil to capture the carbon, right. And then conservation agriculture, nutrient management. Conservation agriculture techniques include crop rotation, zero tilling, that means we are not tilling any land. So, if this is the land, we usually till the land, right, using the tractor and all. So, those tilling should be absent, no tilling should be done. Then use of organic fertilizers, crop rotation, that means we should not grow single crop whole throughout the year or throughout the decade. We need to rotate the crop so that soil will be naturally capable to hold those nutrients and all, right. So, these are all techniques which promote the carbon farming, right. Similarly, we have agroecological practices such as crop diversification. As I said, not only crop rotation, but crop diversification. So, once you grow that, you will halt that and you will go for some other crops, right. So, you are not dependent on single crops, rather than you are dependent on multiple crops. So, that is also important. Similarly, livestock, if you use proper food, proper grass to the this rare animals, so the emission of methane will reduce, the emission of carbon dioxide will reduce. So, those type of activities we need to focus. The quality fodder should be given, right, and then proper milk, proper rearing practices has to be followed. So, if you are following these things, then carbon forming methodology will be very useful for capturing the carbon from the atmosphere and store in the soil and plants, right. So, this is a very good evening. So, this is how you can promote the carbon forming, in which the greenhouse gas effects will be reduced, right. So, this is about the carbon forming methodology. Any doubt in this? Anyone? Is this clear? So, we have seen what is carbon, and then what is forming, and then we have seen what actually is a carbon forming, right, and then the number of activities. You no need to mug up everything, just briefly know that there are certain activities which can promote the carbon forming, so which can store the carbon, right. So, this is about the carbon forming. Now, what are the challenges? We all know that this is the method to protect the climate, but what are the challenges involved in it? So, there are certain challenges also why people are not able to take this approach, right. First one is, it depends on various factors. The type of soil is not uniform across the India. If you see northern part of India, we have alluvial soils, then central Deccan Plateau we have black soils, we have laterite soil, we have red soil. So, there are number of categories, number of geography, and we need to take different activities in different regions. We cannot promote uniformly, that again need lot of expertise, right. So, that is why we were not able to follow this. Similarly, this management, the usefulness depends on the land management practice also. So, people are having just 1 acre, half acre, so they cannot able to do all these things with the, which includes the cost, right. So, land management is no properly distributed across India, so it is also difficult. Similarly, there in hot and dry areas where there is no rainfall at all, we cannot promote this type of agroforestry and all, because water is very primary thing for to promote agriculture, different type of agriculture. That is why, because of dry areas in most of regions in India, we were not able to deploy this carbon farming, right. Similarly, it also include lot of costs, finances involved, governments need to support. Governments already across, not only central government but different states, there is a lack of funding, right, to eradicate poverty, to create employment. There is already an funding support on those, focus on those areas, but now this particular approaches need separate funding, which we are lacking. So, these challenges are hindering us to take forward the carbon farming approach, right. So, those are the challenges. Now, the news article also mentioned about 4 per 1000 initiative, very very important for exam. So, they will ask you, is this clear until carbon farming? Yeah. So, the 4 per 1000 initiative, this is the initiative which also indirectly supporting the carbon farming. Now, who has launched this? What is the objective? That is very very important for exam. This was launched in 2015 by France, 4 per 1000 initiative. Now, let us understand what actually is this number signify, 4 per 1000. See what actually is 4%, what is 4%? 4% means 4 out of 100, right, and 4 per 1000 means 4 per 1000 means implies 0.4%. Is this clear? This is simple mathematics. 4% means 4 by 100, 4 per 100, 4 per 1000 means 0.4%, right. So, the objective now, if you understand, at least 0.4% of the soil carbon stocks. So, world has different, all the soil, like earth is nothing but all the soil. So, we have degraded it, the soil has been degraded, now we need to reclaim it. At least 0.4% of land or soil, not land, soil of the first 30 to 40 centimeters of agriculture soil. So, we have a number of agriculture activities conducting across the earth, and if this is the thickness of land that you are talking about, the agriculture land, top 30 to 40 centimeters of agriculture land, at least 0.4% around the world, around the earth of agriculture land has to be reclaimed with the proper human activities. So, we are going to improve its quality so that it can capture the carbon back, because now soil has degraded. Now, we are trying to capture, replenish at least the 0.4% of the top 30 centimeters agriculture land to increase the carbon capture methodology. So, this is the objective of this initiative, very very important, you will see this in the coming examination. So, 4 per 1000 initiative, and it was launched by France. in 2015 and at the COP21 summit, which is also called as Paris meet or Paris meet, right. So, we have a conference of parties meeting every year at the in the December. So, this was happened in 2015. So, on the sidelines of this summit, the France government has launched the 4 per 1000 initiative, a very important, right. So, aim we have seen to reclaim the soil with enhanced capacity to capture the carbon, right. So, this is about, and this headquarters is located at Montpellier in France, right. So, headquarters is located in the Montpellier in the France. So, this is about the 4 per 1000 initiative. Is this clear? Any doubts in this? So, we have seen what actually is the context, the article related to the carbon forming. We have seen about the carbon, and then we have seen what actually is the carbon forming, and then activities included in the carbon forming. So, we have briefly seen this, and finally challenges, and then 4 per 1000 initiative, which is very important to protect the soils, right, to reclaim the soils. So, this is about the 4 per 1000 initiative. Any doubts in this? Great. Next article is MRI scan. So, I can recollect one question which I wrote in IFOS mains. So, I was preparing for civil service along with that forest service also. That year I was having IFOS mains also, I cleared that cutoff as well. So, they have asked about MRI scan and I am not very much sure, right, something I use this diagram and all. So, this type of questions are also possible even in mains, not only prelims but mains also it is possible. So, you have to know the mechanism, how it is working, what is this and all, they will ask you in the exams, right. So, now there was an article on the Hindu itself about understanding the MRI scan. The full form is magnetic resonance imaging, right. So, they have detailedly given this explanation. So, let us break it into the simple method. First, what actually is a magnetic, great, thank you Srinath. What actually is a magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. So, understand about this, we will then come to the we will see briefly about it, then we will come to how it works also, how they can capture the images also we will see, right. So, MRI is used to obtain the images of soft tissues, that means they are not giving for the hard ones, that bones and all it is not going to capture, but for the soft tissues it can be like brain, right, and then heart. So, these are all soft, they are not calcium oriented, right. So, spinal cord as well as various muscles, liver, arteries. So, those soft tissues can be clearly studied, you can clearly see through the MRI scan, right. So, this is the approach, the objective to capture the images of the soft tissues, not the bones, fine. Now, this is a non-invasive diagnostic procedure. Usually we have other things also, other approaches as well, where we need to send the radiation, various waves like X-rays, right, X-rays are one of the best approach that we are following, but those are invasive. That means when you are sending X-rays there may be side effects in your body because they have a high frequency. So, this particular MRI is eliminating the use of using the radiation, you no need to use any rays and all which will affect the body, right. So, this is non-invasive, there is no side effects on this scanner, right. So, it uses particularly in treatment of cancer also. What is cancer? Cancer means innumerable uncontrolled development of cells. Our human body itself is made up of cells, right. So, cancer is nothing but the uncontrolled development of cells in any part of the body. So, that is called as cancer. So, this MRI can detect those cells which has developed without control. So, this is the objective of working of the MRI scan. Now, this MRI consists of what? There are total 4 components, 4 parts of the MRI scan, right. What are those parts? So, if you look into this, the whole part itself, the physical thing, the material that we use, this itself one single part. Then comes the hole where the humans will go inside, so that it will be scanned, right. So, the whole part is first, and then second one is the hole which is called as bore, that is called as bore. They may ask you, so you can, even if you are writing civil services or state PSC group 1 examination, they may ask you about these components and then working nature. So you need to understand them as well. So here we have a hole which is called bolt, a bore, and then the machine itself, the hole, the machine itself. So 2 parts, and the third part is superconducting magnet. There is a magnet inside this. So there is a, inside of this machine there is a big magnet which have capacity to attract. That's why when you are entering into the MRI scan, they won't even allow you small magnetic chip also. Even the credit cards or those debit card also they won't allow you. Anything, nothing which has magnetic power they won't allow you, because it has a superconductive magnet easily which can attract the magnetic elements from the body, right. So the fourth and the important part is the detector. The detector. So this detector can really capture the magnetic elements released by our body. I will tell you the working mechanism also, you will understand how body can release the magnetic elements. So this detector will receive the emissions of those signals, magnetic signals emitted by our human body, and then convert them into the pictures, right. So total 4 parts are there, the physical mission, the whole mission itself, and then hole which is called as bore, and then we have a super magnetic which can capture the magnetic signals emitted by our human body, and also the finally the detector which can capture the signals and then make into the pictures, right. So this is the components of the MRI scan. Now let us understand how it works, right, how the body can emit this magnetic elements. So this is also important to understand. So you might be doubt, sir, how human body will emit the magnetic magnetic elements. So now you will understand it, because our human body has hydrogen inside it, because we consume water, right, H2O, which is nothing but also hydrogen, right, we also hydrogen, and also we have fats, and within fats we have hydrogen. So our human body in every part has the element of hydrogen inside us, and this hydrogen has the capacity to generate the magnetic elements. So this hydrogen has the powerful magnetic movement. So if there is any magnet kept near to it, so this hydrogens inside our body will spin over and then generate the exact situation of our part, each part, right. So this magnetic movement is captured by super magnet which we have put it in the MRI scan, right. Superconducting magnet will capture, attract, and then it will spin over. This will be detected by the detector, and then the body part where the hydrogen where the scan has happened and then hydrogen elements has spinned, those are captured and make into the pictures, right. So the working is, our body has hydrogen, hydrogen has magnetic power, and then when the superconducting magnet places at single place, these hydrogens rotate and it will give pictures of the magnetic elements released from our human body, and it is captured by the detector and it put form of the images, right. So is this clear? The working nature is very, very important. Usually students by heart these components and all, but examiners test you how you know the working nature, right. So this is about the MRI scan. Any doubts in this? We will see advantages also. Any doubts? So is this clear? Right. So let us see the advantages of it. Now we are skipping the X-rays and we are shifting to the MRI and all, but what is the advantages of it? Why we are going into it? First thing, there is no radiation. You are not going to send any ions or radiations like X-rays, so there won't be any side effects, very good advantage. And also next one, they can capture the body part in a 3-dimensional way, all the 360 degrees around it can capture, unlike X-rays which will go into one direction, again we need to send it another direction. So there is no such thing, it can capture the 360 degrees of your organ. So that is again advantage, right. And there is no harm of these things, that was proved that this does not have any side effects because we are not using any radiation, right. So these are the advantages. Now what are the disadvantages? First thing is the expensiveness in terms of construction of the product. The product varies based on the quality, from few lakhs like 30-40 lakhs to few crores, 20-30 crores machine also there. So the instrument itself is very costly here, that is one challenge. And second challenge is per each scan there is a difficulty of paying this 10,000 it will cost. Do you think that poor people will even earn this amount of money in that month, right? So the expense of scanning is very high for the poor people, right? And also the individuals who are going to be enter into the bore, the whole of this, they should not move for 10 minutes. So without any movements there should be a stuck there with proper management. If you are stuck or if you move, then it has to be taken again, right? There is no proper imagining will come. So you have to stand all. It is not stand in the sense you should make yourself as an object, right, without any movement. So this is also a challenging aspects. So that is about the MRI scans. Any doubt in this? Any doubts? Great. Okay. So that is about the MRI scans. Let us move to the next article, that is India-Nepal territorial dispute, right. So recently Nepal has decided to come out with the their rupees 100 currency note with the territory of India. There is a dispute, of course, that was this Indian territory is part of India since many years, but Nepal has disputed that this territory belongs to the Nepal, not India's. So those territories they have put in their 100 rupee note, right. So this is what happened, and that was the article published in all the newspapers. Now we will come to this again, why Nepal has published this picture and all of Indian territory. Let us understand the background. You all know that India was under the British rule, right. So India was under the British rule. They have made lot of agreements with other countries surrounding Nepal, Bhutan, even China, Pakistan. Pakistan also divided from India itself. So one such treaty is Treaty of Sagoli. Very important, modern history they will ask you this question. It is between India, British India and Nepal, which was signed in 1816. So remember, it is much before than 1857 revolt itself. So this treaty was signed between British India and Nepal, and this is a land boundary agreement. And what the agreement says? The agreement says the division line, the boundary between India and Nepal is Kali river, right. So Kali river is the border between India and Nepal, they said, right. But this border, the Kali river itself, in different maps from different historical proofs, it was emerging from different reasons. There is no proper proof that Kali river emerges from this particular location. So different maps shows different things, right. So since the agreement, India has occupied, India has these regions. So try to see the diagram, you will understand. So this is the India-Nepal border, right. So the agreement says it is the Kali river. Kali river is located in this boundary itself. Kali river passes through this region. This line itself is a Kali river. So this they said as a boundary between India and Nepal. But there is a dispute. Nepal says that this Kali river emerges from Lipulekh Pass or maybe from Limpiyadura. So they are saying that this river emerges from Limpiyadura or Lipulekh, and whatever it is passing, this is the boundary, this should be the river, this is the passage of Kali river. They are saying that the river is emerging from here, right. So emerging from here or maybe here also, either this way or this way, and all this region should belongs to the Nepal, they are saying. So from here till here, all this they are saying that it should belong to the Nepal. And India says that the Kali river is emerging from Kalapani, not from Lipulekh or Limpiyadura, but the Kali river is emerging from the Kalapani region. So this should be the boundary, right. So we are claiming all this territory, we are already, it is part of us, and by saying that Kalapani is the emerging nature or emerging point of the Kali river, and Nepal says that it is emerging from this region. So all these things should part of Nepal, right. I hope this is clear, understand this region, right. So, we are saying, India is saying that the river is emerging here. So, anything of south side, this south side will belong to the Nepal. So, only this part will have Nepal, and Nepal are saying that it is emerging in this regions, either this region or this region, and we want territory not from here but completely from this line they are saying. So, this they are asking as their own part. So, here the disputed regions are Limpiadura, Kalapani and Lipulek. So, these three they may ask you in the exam, right. Is this clear about the dispute? The land boundary we are claiming, it is already with us, right, it is already with us as part of Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand, this is already part of us starting from here, and Nepal saying that no, the river origins from these regions, but and all this territory should belongs to them, right. So, this is the dispute. We are saying that Kalapani is part of Uttarakhand in Pithogarh region, this starts. So, this is all part of India, and they are saying that this region is part of Sundar Pashchim province of Nepal, right. So, this is the dispute between India and Nepal, right. So, as of now the territory is in our hands only, since the this treaty of Sagoli, this territory is part of us, and in 1998 they came up with this proposal that this region Kali is emerging much northern side. So, all those territories should belongs to the Nepal, that is what it came up with, right. So, they may ask you this exam, I mean the names they will ask you, Kalapani and then Lipulek, Limpiadura, these are the disputed region and the boundary is fixed at Kali river. So, these facts you need to remember, right. And India, after Nepal decided to publish the Indian territories in their currency, 100 rupees currency note, India has rejected its claims and said that this is part of India and you are doing this moves without even asking the permission. So, India has rejected their approach or move to publish these things, right. Any doubts? Any doubts from this? Please do respond if you have any doubt. So, this diagram itself will give you the clarity, right. I am repeating it again. As the agreement says that the Kali river is the boundary, anything above that it will belong to the India and south side of it will belong to Nepal. So, we are saying that it is emerging here, and because of that north side all this territory will be part of India, and they are saying that the river is emerging not from Kalapani but above one. So, all this territory should belong to the Nepal, right. So, this is the dispute. Great. Next article about the Mullaperiyar Dam, again very important. This is also part of geography as well as polity, interstate dispute as well. So, why the context? Tamil Nadu has moved to the Supreme Court saying that Kerala is not allowing to take care of the obstructing the strengthening works at the Mullaperiyar Dam. So, understand why Kerala is doing this. Let me tell you briefly as we are discussing this. This Mullaperiyar Dam is located in Kerala. This Mullaperiyar Dam is located in Kerala, but is handled by the Tamil Nadu, right. Even though this dam is located in Kerala, it is being handled under the Tamil Nadu government. So, we will come to this why it is and all, you will understand after discussing the things, right. So, let us know about the Mullaperiyar Dam location, that is how the questions can be asked, then we will come to the dispute, right. So, first thing, it is a masonry gravity dam. Anyone from civil engineers who are here can answer this. Gravity dam means all the construction of the dam is taken with the masonry, that is stones, put it in a proper manner arrangement. So, the gravity itself, the own weight of this dam itself will hold the water, there is no need of any other supports, right. So, the gravity, the weight of this material which is very huge in the sense, so the weight itself will store the water. So, that is a masonry gravity dam on Periyar river. This is also important, on Periyar river. On which river this Mullaperiyar Dam is located? The name itself says Periyar river, right. And this is located in Idukki district of Kerala. Physically it is located in the Idukki district of Kerala, right. So, it is in the Cardamom hills of Western Ghats. So, in the Western Ghats we have number of sub hills, like Sahyadri we have at Maharashtra, we have Annamalai Hills is there northern Kerala, South Kerala we have Cardamom Hills as well. So, number of sub hills are there, and this river is this dam is located in Cardamom Hills, right. This was built at the confluence of, so the joining of two rivers, Mullaperiyar and Periyar. So, this dam is constructed at the conjunction of two rivers, where the two rivers are joining. Here they have constructed the dam, right. The main aim why the dam was constructed way back in 1886 and all. So, this was constructed way back during British's time, when Travancore, Raja of Travancore was ruling in the Kerala region. So, why they have constructed this? Because there are western Tamil Nadu regions, the western part of Tamil Nadu. So, this is Tamil Nadu and this is Kerala if you say. The western part of Tamil Nadu, southwest region, is frequently facing the issue of droughts because of lack of water and all. So, that is why to support the Tamil Nadu region, which was already earlier it was part of Raja of Travancore. Now, we have Tamil Nadu and Kerala region, right, different states are there, but earlier even this part of Tamil Nadu is part of Travancore. So, that is why they have planned a dam to support their people, their own kingdom people, but now the territories have divided, and now that is why the dam is located in Kerala and the management is with the Kerala, sorry, with the Tamil Nadu, right. So, that is why there is a issue. We will see why it is under the Tamil Nadu government itself. The Periyar National Park is also located around the reservoir, right. Now comes the dispute. There was an agreement, as I said, that this was given to the Madras province. The Raja of Travancore, with the 999 years lease, they have given to lease to the Madras, right. So, Madras presidency is under the Tamil Nadu. So, this agreement was made with the British government at the Madras province, that we are giving this dam for 999 years. So, you can use this water and then serve the southwest Tamil Nadu region. So, they have given this to the Britishers or Madras province under the agreement, right. So, it was done in 1886. So, 1000 years means you can add 2886 till that 2886 years, it should be part of Tamil Nadu, they are saying, right, according to the agreement. Okay. So, under this agreement, Tamil Nadu can use this land, the dam land, and then they can construct any irrigation projects over it. So, that was the agreement. Now, as the State Reorganization of Act 1956, they have divided the different states on language. So, Kerala has said after independence that this agreement was illegal. It was signed way back because Raja at that time was given, but this is in our territory itself, how can they give? So, this agreement was invalid and illegal, they said, right. So, accordingly central government has come into the picture and they have renewed the agreement in 1970s, they have renewed it, right. So, as the people of Tamil Nadu are depend on this dam, so that is why the agreement gave rights to the Tamil Nadu itself, even though it is located in the Kerala. The central government committee also recommended that this dam should be under the Tamil Nadu, they can use the water for agriculture irrigation practices. They can also develop hydropower projects, means generation of electricity through water. So, this was given, but Kerala was to be given with some rent. So, Tamil Nadu government every year has to pay certain rent for using this dam because it is located in their territory, right. So, this is the dispute resolution made by the center with the Kerala and Tamil Nadu, but that does not stop there. Now, because of some small earthquake in 1979, there was some damage to this dam, right, there was some damages to this dam. So, Kerala has said that because of this earthquake, it is not sustainable to store water, and if something happens, the people of Kerala will be affected. So, if the dam get burst, so all the water will be enter into the Kerala certain regions and it will be affected. So, that is why the Kerala said that no, there no need, I mean Tamil Nadu cannot store any water because we will be affecting, right. So, they have complained, and Central Water Commission has come into the picture that time after Kerala's complaint that earthquake has affected this dam. They said that the water level should be decreased, water level height should be decreased until the repair works are carried out. So, it has directed Tamil Nadu government not to store the water, but to decrease the level of water, right. So, accordingly Tamil Nadu government reduced the levels, but after that they have carried over, they have tried to carry over the repair works. They started carrying the repair works, but it was stopped by Kerala, right. So, Tamil Nadu government is trying to recap or reconstruct it to increase the height storage capacity of the dam, but Kerala is saying that this is not safe to raise the water level. So, that is why it is hindering the activities of reconstruction of the Tamil Nadu government to the Mullaperiyar Dam. So, as Kerala's territory, I mean the dam is located in Kerala territory, so the police and all will be of Kerala only. Of course, it is difficult for Tamil Nadu to manage this river, right. So, Tamil Nadu police cannot enter into the Kerala police without the permission, right. So, this is the dispute about. So, any doubts in this? So, we have seen where is about, I mean the issue that Tamil Nadu is complained to the Supreme Court that Kerala is stopping the reconstruction activity. So, we have seen about the Mullaperiyar Dam, where it is located and all. So, you can see here the location also, Mullaperiyar Dam location, here it is in Kerala, inside Kerala, and this is the border to Tamil Nadu, right. So, Theni is a district, this is the district mostly depend on this water, right. So, then we have seen what the history of the agreement, what is the issue of the agreement, then we have seen the renewed agreement in 1970s, and then safety issues due to earthquakes, and what Tamil Nadu is asking and what Kerala has done, right. So, that is about the Mullaperiyar Dam. Great. Now, next article, that is coral bleaching in Lakshadweep, coral bleaching in Lakshadweep. So, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, there is an organization, and under it there is a other small organization, Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute, right, Central Marine Research Fisheries Institute. They have conducted the studies in Lakshadweep and said that there is a heat waves in Lakshadweep and it was affecting the coral bleaching. We will understand what actually are corals. We have discussed this many times, but still we will discuss it again, alright. So, what are coral reefs? Let me explain with example. So, coral reefs are nothing but a CaCO3, calcium carbonate. Single coral is located inside the zooxanthella. Zooxanthella. It is an algae, a type of algae, where it will be inside the small one dot zooxanthella. Around it there will be a accretion of CaCO3. Accretion means addition. So, this single is called as a coral, and all such zooxanthella and then accretion of different corals together. So, this is called as coral reefs. Coral means single one, zooxanthella inside and then over it CaCO3. Coral reefs means a combination of different corals. So, you can see how beautiful they are. These are all coral reefs, and these are very, very important for the ocean atmosphere, I mean the ocean condition. They will give lot of oxygen, lot of nutrients, right, for fisheries and all, for fishes and all. So, they are very high in quality, which can promote the life in the ocean, right. Now, so this is about the corals. We have seen zooxanthella, and then coral polyp means a single coral, and addition all together called as coral reefs. So, they are in the symbiotic relationship. This we have discussed, zooxanthella inside and then coral polyp surrounding it. It is in a symbiotic relationship. Symbiotic relationship means helping each other. So, this zooxanthella will give lot of nutrients for the coral polyp. The coral polyp, zooxanthella will, through its excretion and all, it gives nutrients. So, coral will able to sustain. Similarly, this coral is protecting the zooxanthella inside it. Zooxanthella is a small algae, so fishes may attack and then eat it. So, as these corals are much stronger, so they are protecting the zooxanthella. So, they are in the symbiotic relationship, right. So, that is about the coral reefs. Now, in India, where they are located and all is also important. So, they are located in the Gulf of Kutch in the Gujarat, and then Malwan coast in the Goa and Maharashtra, Lakshadweep, that is what we are discussing now, right, Lakshadweep, and then Gulf of Mannar and Andaman Nicobar. So, these are the regions where coral reefs are located in India, and in the world they are located in the tropical regions. They are located in the tropical region. So, this is the region where corals are highly grown, right, not in the temperate and other regions. So, there are certain conditions also. So, we have just seen the context that corals are being bleached, right, coral bleaching is happening. So, why coral bleach is happening? Before that, let us know what are the necessary conditions for the corals to grow, right. So, that is also important. Sea temperature should be moderate, 20 to 30 degrees, shallow water level, so it should not be more deeper, clean salt water, there should not be sediments, right. So, the clean salt water should be there, and then seaward side, they are not safe at the coast level, rather a little bit seaward side. So, for example, if this is the beach and this is a coral whatever generated, the hard material. So, usually sea side they grows, right, not in this side, but in the sea side, this is the leeward, this is the sea side. So, they grow in this region, coral reefs, right. They should have a sufficient oxygen, and then they extensively grown in tropical region. So, these are certain conditions, like how we need oxygen, they also need all these conditions, right. Now, what is this coral bleaching? Coral bleaching is a situation where coral's quality is degraded because these conditions are not available. The temperature is not 20 to 30 degrees, it is increasing, and there is no shallow water, not clean salt water, there is sediments because of lot of discharges of industries in the coastal region. So, if any of these conditions are violated, then the quality of corals will degrade. This, as this has very less amount of material, now this coral polyp will expel the zooxanthella. We ourselves are not able to sustain, so how we can give home to you, right. So, these corals will expel the zooxanthella, and then their color degrades, the nutrients of zooxanthella also decrease. So, these corals will be depleted. So, this situation is called as a coral bleaching, right. So, now what has happened in Lakshadweep? The study has proved that there were heat waves, marine heat waves due to climate change. There were marine heat waves since October 2023. Last year October there was a heat wave since then, and because of this the temperatures of the ocean has increased. Ocean acidification also took place. So, because of this the corals in the Lakshadweep are degrading, and Lakshadweep is nothing but the whole Lakshadweep islands are made up of corals. So, if these corals are keep degrading, all the Lakshadweep islands itself will collapse, right, in the coming few years. So, anything exceeding 1 degree temperature than average, for example, Lakshadweep maximum temperature is 30 degrees. So, even if it is 31 degrees, then these corals will be affected. So, that is what the study has proved. So, we need to overcome this challenge, that is what the study has said, right. So, that is about the coral bleaching. Any doubts? Any doubts in coral bleaching? Please do respond. We have discussed this in previous sessions also many times, but anyway certain students are new to the session. So, every day whatever there in news we will keep discussing them, right. Next one is Starliner project. Starliner project. So, can anyone tell me which private organization is supporting NASA, in which private space organization is supporting NASA in USA? Anyone? Which private space organization is supporting NASA in launching the space objects? Yes, Swarupa, shallow means up to 5 meters, right. Usually considered shallow means the deep, the water depth is not beyond 5 meters. So, you can expect like this, right. So, they are sustained up to 5 meters depth. Beyond, if the water goes, like if you go inside of the ocean, the depth will increase. That is why you will not see coral in the deep waters. They are situated in the shallow waters up to maximum depth of 5 meters. If the depth is increasing, the corals will not sustain there. Yes, Srinath, you are correct, that is SpaceX of Elon Musk, right. So, this is being supported, right. India is also developing the private companies to enter into the space. Anyway, SpaceX of Elon Musk is supporting the NASA with a lot of project launch, because governments does not always have the resources, fine. So, does not always yeah. So, is this clear now? Yeah, fine. Okay, great. So, we will take the next article, we will complete. After this, just one more article is there. So, as I said, the NASA is going beyond the SpaceX. So, they were having SpaceX, but it is very I mean, it is a good thing that if we have 3-4 private companies, so that our here means the countries, right. So, the projects will be in a feasible manner. So, that is why the Boeing has come up with the new project with the spacecraft called Starliner, not Starlink. Do not confuse with Starlink. Starlink is of NASA, sorry, of Elon Musk, right. So, Starlink is of Elon Musk SpaceX, but this is Starliner spacecraft. So, to test to the private capability of Boeing, it is going to be launched 2 NASA astronauts into the space through Atlas 5 rocket, So, there is we need rocket to launch, of course, right, the satellite. So, this rocket is being used, Atlas 5 rocket, to launch the Starliner spacecraft. This is a satellite, and within these satellites they are sending 2 NASA astronauts as well, right. So, this is the the Starliner's first crewed test, right. So, how SpaceX is of Elon Musk company, Starliner is of Boeing's, right. So, they are launching the first crewed flight, that means the people are there, the astronomers are there in the satellite. So, this is going to be launched, that is why we have taken this article from Indian Express. Now, what is this Starliner about? It is a reusable crew module, that means, see, once if the rocket is launching this satellite, all these parts will fall into this, and even satellite will remain in the space and it will become debris after some years. But now, this satellite will come back to the earth. Now, we are launching astronauts into the space. This was called as CST-100, crew space transportation, but not only about launching, but this satellite will take them back to the earth, right. So, this is a reusable crew capsule, the satellite, fine. And there are 2 parts of this module, that is crew module and service module. Crew module consists of certain space where astronomers can sit and do their daily activities, that is 7 astronauts can can live in this crew module, and service module have electricity, propulsion, all those studies which they can conduct, all the requirements, right. So, these are the thing. And what is the mission about? What is the objective? Objective is nothing but they want to launch the humans into space, right. So, NASA is supporting this, so that private organization, space organization will be there to support the NASA, the US country, right. So, this aim is to send the crew into the space and then take them back also. This is the objective, just to test that they have capacity to launch humans into the space and then they can take them back as well. And also this will be staying for 10 days, this is also important. The human astronauts can stay for 10 days, the spacecraft also will be there, and after that it will take the 2 astronauts back to the earth, right. And one important thing is, this Starliner satellite which is coming back to the earth, they can land on the ground. Earlier most of the coming back satellites are being landed on the sea, but this is going to be landed on the ground. So, this is one important feature as well, right. So, that is about the Starliner. You just need to know who is launching that, Boeing, and for what it is launching, to put astronomers into the space and then bring them back to the earth, and where this is landing, it is going to be on the ground rather than the ocean. So, that is also important facts, right. So that is about the thing. And the last article for today is orangutans, right. So there was an article in the Hindu that orangutans, this is orangutan, orangutans using plant to treat their wounds. So what it is indirectly saying, only the treatment can usually be done by the humans itself. We know how to treat the wounds and all, but orangutan has done, it has used the plant and it has treated its own wound that has happened to it, right. So this article is talking about, yes, orangutans, the chimpanzees also have the capacity to think like a humans and treat their own wounds, right. Now let us see, before knowing what it has done, let us see what are orangutans. There was a question also in UPSC Civil Services 2021 on orangutan. So yes, there is a possibility of question again in any of the exams, right. So orangutans are exclusively arboreal. Arboreal in the sense, arboreal meaning is that they live in the plants, right, they plants and trees, they live in the plants and trees, right, they are arboreal. And there are 3 types of orangutans in whole world, and that too is located only in 2 countries, that is Indonesia and Malaysia. No other part of the world have orangutans. So there are 3 types, Bornean, Sumatran and Tapnuli. So these 3 are located in the Malaysia and Indonesia, that is all, no other countries are there, right. So they feed on fruits, lichen, small insects. So they are both herbivores as well as carnivores. So it means omnivorous animals, they are eating the insects as well, right. And they can live up to 50 years, their lifespan, whole lifespan is 50 years, but they have low productivity, that means reproductivity, they can, the female orangutans only produce 1 calf for every 5 to 10 years, right. So they have very less reproductive capabilities. So this is also important feature. And where they are located, as we are from India, so you need to know about the India situation as well. We don't, India is not native to orangutans, only orangutans located in the zoo itself we have taken from some countries, and there are only few orangutans which was kept in zoos, right, zoos, zoo, right. So they are not native to India, they are located in Indonesia and Malaysia, right, and they are not found in any part of the world, and the IUCN status is critically endangered. So these facts also very important. Now what it has done, what the discovery has been done, a orangutan with the name called as Racus. Racus is a orangutan name. So it has plucked the plant which have medical properties, it has identified the plant which have medical properties, and then it chewed, find out the juice, and those juice were applied into the wound, and after applying the juice they have also made this plants as a bulk material, and then they have put on their wound. So not only putting the juice of those medical values plant, and also it is applying the plant itself, the material itself on the wound, and it was able to treat itself. So it is having the thought like humans, that is what the article want to prove, right. So this is about the orangutans and what they have done. Now any doubts? Now let us see the factual pointers. There are 3-4 factual pointers which you need to understand as well. Recently we have celebrated 545th birth anniversary of Saint Vallabhacharya. In the medieval India, usually if you go to the ancient India, there was a lot of superstitious beliefs. Even people felt like sun is revolving around the earth, and there is lot of importance to the god or superstitious beliefs and all. But during the medieval period like 10th 11th century, there were 2 bhakti movements, Sufi movement as well as bhakti movement, right. So we have 2 traditions, Sufi as well as bhakti movement, and bhakti movement is related to the Hinduism, Sufi movement related to the Islam. So this movement renounced the superstitious belief and believed that man itself is a god, whoever is doing good thing for other humans, they themselves are considered as a god, right, and God does not have single form or all the forms as a single god, right. So that was promoted, and Vallabhacharya is one such saint who has promoted bhakti movement, and he is belong to the Raipur in Chhattisgarh region, right, and he is a contemporary of Sri Chaitanya, one more Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one more saint who belongs to the Bengal region. So this is also may be asked in the exam. He promoted Pushti Marg tradition, where God is one and we just need to not harm anyone. So he has promoted Pushti Mark, and he has authored lot of books as well. These things are also you have to remember. Anubhashya, Brahma Sutra, Subodhini Vyakya, Bhagavat. So these are all the works of Vallabhacharya. So you need to remember he is the contemporary of Sri Chaitanya, and then what he promoted, from where he belongs to, and what type of movement he promoted, right. So this is about the fact. Bangalore based private company has unveiled FWD 200B, India's first indigenously made bomber UAV. So it is nothing but a drone, like a UAV, the drone, which can carry the bombs and then they can throw on the enemies, right. So this is the first indigenously made, India's indigenously made bomber UAV, that is drone, and the name is FWD 200B. You have to remember that as well. And how much weight it can carry for the bombs? Up to 500 kgs bombs it can carry, right, and it can go up to the altitude of 9,000 feet. So these facts you have to remember. Last one, last fact, Arkanut, right. So Arkanut Research Center in Karnataka has concluded that Tirthahalli Arekanut was the best quality in India. Areka Research Center in Karnataka has said that Tirthahalli Arekanut was the best quality one, and Karnataka produces the 80% of total Arekanut. You can see the images if you don't know what is Arekanut. This is very popular, especially in traditions like the Hindu traditions and all, we use this a lot, right. So Karnataka is the largest producer, followed by Kerala and Assam. And also India import this Arekanut from certain countries like Sri Lanka, Myanmar and Indonesia, fine. So these are the factual pointers that you need to remember. So let us see some practice questions from the discussions that we have made. I hope this is clear except some disturbances in between. So let us see the first question. What is the core objective of carbon farming? We have seen what actually is a carbon farming, right. So now what is the objective of this carbon farming, they are asking? To cultivate those plants which are rich in carbon content, first objective. To reduce the amount of carbon consumed by plants and trees, therefore reducing the amount of carbon into soils. So this is the second statement. To enhance carbon storage in agriculture landscapes. So this is the third statement they have given. To modify cultivating techniques and machinery in agriculture to suit the release of carbon dioxide. So what is the answer for this? So someone is saying D. Why D? They are saying cultivating techniques, machinery in agriculture to suit release of carbon dioxide, they are saying. Is it good? So if the plants or agriculture releasing carbon dioxide is a good thing? No, this is a bad thing, isn't it? So carbon dioxide should be captured rather than released. So this is not a correct answer, D can be eliminated. First one, to cultivate those plants which are rich in carbon content, no, not to cultivate those. Second one, to reduce amount of carbon consumed by plants and trees, therefore amount of carbon, no, this is also irrelevant. So if you see this, carbon farming means to create or to perform the activities of agriculture in which it can store the carbon, right. So to enhance carbon storage in agriculture landscape. So this is the answer. Yes, Trida, Santosh, Oendrila, Srinath and Sahan, all of you have answered it as correct. Next question, which of the following statements about magnetic reasoning imaging is not true? So incorrect they are saying. So they are talking about MRI scan, and which one is incorrect they are saying, right. So you understood the mechanism, how it works and all. So now let us answer this question. It is a medical imaging technique used in radiology to visualize the internal structure of the body. So to visualize the internal structure of the body, they are saying. MRI makes use of property of nuclear magnetic resonance NMR to image nucleus of atoms inside the body. So they are saying that this MRI will be able to capture the internal images of the bodies. So this is the second statement. Third statement, MRI uses ionizing radiation to produce detailed analysis of the body. So, this is the third statement. MRI machines make use of the fact that body tissues contains lots of water and hence protons which can align large magnetic field. So, it is saying that indirectly the hydrogen which is present in water will help in producing the magnetic field. So, what is the answer for this? It makes use of property of nuclear magnetic resonance. Yes, this is a mechanism. In the MRI we have a superconductive magnet which will conduct magnetic resonance and then steady the atoms inside the body, right. So, this is a correct one, they are saying not true one. I have discussed this very particularly. MRI does not use any radiation like X-rays, we are not using any radiation, we are using the magnetic field. So, here you can observe this, there is no ionizing, right. So, there is no radiation at all. I have discussed this many times when we are taking this article. So, the answer is C, rest of all three are correct. You might have observed, if you observed this keenly you might have got the answer, right. So, answer is C. Next one, I do not know, many of you have answered it as wrong. So, it means that you are not analyzing the statement, rather you are seeing this in a factual manner. Okay, we did not discuss this point, so this might be the answer. No, if you have understood it, if you understood the meaning of it after reading clearly, you should have got the answer, right. So, be patient when you are understanding the statement and then conclude the answers, right. Yes, Trida, you are correct, answer is C for the second question. Next one, in which part in India areca nut cultivation is widely practiced? In which part in India areca nut cultivation is widely practiced? Coastal coastal Odisha region, northern Karnataka region, Araku Valley of Andhra Pradesh, northeast states of India. So, what is the answer for third question? We have seen areca nut is widely practiced, 80% of areca nut is being produced by Karnataka, isn't it? We have seen, after that Kerala and Assam very less. So, it is not of Odisha, it is not of Araku Valley, it is not of northeast states. The answer is B, North Karnataka region, isn't it? We have discussed this, 80% of areca nut comes from the Karnataka. Next question, consider the following statements about orangutans. See, if you are not clear, go back to that article what we have discussed and try to revise them. Do not give up when you are not able to understand them. You have to be patient when you are understanding such type of questions, right. So, I do not know why nobody has answered the third question. So, try to answer it. Yes, Trida, 3 is B, that is northern Karnataka. Now, let us see about orangutans. They are native to Indian subcontinent. They are nocturnal in nature, right. So, that is the second statement. They are protected with critically endangered status in IUCN. So, what is the answer for this? First statement can be eliminated, we have discussed it is not native to India, it is native to Southeast Asia. So, 2 options can be eliminated. They are nocturnal, no, they are not nocturnal, nocturnal means only roaming in the night, they are arboreal, it means they live in plants, but nocturnal concept is not applicable. They are not only active in night, they are actually more active in the daytimes, right. So, the second statement also stands strong. So, answer third one is critically endangered. So, answer is C. Srinath, Santosh, Yasmin, Trida has answered it as correct, Sahana as well, right. So, that is how the keen observation you need to observe when you are solving the questions. The last question for today, with reference to Mullaperiyar Dam, which of the following statements are correct? Mullaperiyar Dam is located in Tamil Nadu, but is operated by Kerala government. So, this is the first statement. Second statement, operational rights given to the states based on the Periyar Lake lease agreement of 1886. So, they are saying that this was given on the lease agreement in 1886, the lease agreement name is Periyar Lake lease agreement. Third statement, as per the agreement, Tamil Nadu was given exclusive right and liberty to use the land at the confluence of rivers, that is Periyar and Mullaperiyar. So, it was given for Tamil Nadu to use those land. So, what is the answer? First statement is wrong, because it is located in Kerala, but administered by Tamil Nadu, it was given river. So, one should be eliminated. Operational rights given to states based on the, yes, this is the agreement name, right, in 1886. So, second statement should be there. So, we got the answer. Third one is obviously it is there, it is Tamil Nadu can be used. So, answer is C. So, only Trida has answered. I do not know why today students have not answered properly, most of you. So, try to understand it again. So, try to revise them again if you could not able to remember. Yes, Trida, Srinath, Yasmin have answered it as correct, right. So, that is about today. We have a very good amount of conceptual as well as technical things. So, try to revise them, recall them, it will really helpful. These are how the questions are framed. You have to apply it, not just about by hearting the things, right. So, that is of today's session. Have a great evening, and thanks for all active participation for all those who have participated for today's session. Have a great evening. Thank you.